I am in my Father's house, and I am preaching today, and I'm making things known concerning truth and error. There are two spirits, two main spirits at work today in the hearts of men. That's the control room, the heart. Jesus said that the pure in heart will see God. That's what Jesus said. Jesus also said that the meek, the meek shall inherit the earth. Jesus said the things that his Father wanted said. And I can read right here and see some words that Jesus said. And in this book, the letters are in red. They really are. And I'm going to read just a little here from this book. And this does not only pertain to me, but it pertains to everyone. Jesus made things known. And Jesus is the one who said, if any man hears these words of mine and acts upon them, he will be considered the wise man. Well, folks, there's nothing wrong with being a wise man. Nothing at all. God does not mind if we are wise men and women. That is why he gave instructions so that he could see what we would do. So these things that God has done, he is going to see what we will do. Will we believe even though we have not seen? Yeah, I will. Because eye has not seen and ear has not heard the things which God has for those who love him. The problem is most people are not loving God. They are loving the world. And if you are loving the world, that automatically puts you at enmity with God. And enmity and right standing is not the same. And the traditions of men that we have heard, or that, let me just say, I have heard since I have been born, I can, go over some of them. And one of the main traditions, or the one that, really stands out, is where the tradition has told us that the Bible is the Word of God. Oh, and they'll even go back to it's the unadulterated Word of God. And if it goes to the limit of where people will take it, the Word is God. Yes, folks, the devil has convinced a multitude of people that the Word is God and was God. Folks, God was a spirit in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. And God is still a spirit in John. Did you know that? Now, if God was a spirit in the beginning, then guess what God is now? God is a spirit. And Jesus told his disciples that God would send to us what we needed. And what we need is the truth. And we need the Spirit of truth. The Spirit of truth is the Spirit that comes from God. And we should earnestly desire whatever God gives us by his Spirit. You can call them the gifts of the Spirit. Now there is another spirit. It's called the spirit of error. And he has a pocket full, so to speak, of gifts. Matter of fact, he's probably got a counterfeit for every gift that God has. Yep, he can counterfeit it. And when it's counterfeit, it's so close to the original, to the real, that most people can't tell the difference. But the spirit of error will convince people. And after he does, his convincings become the traditions of men and women. That is why that people today have a problem with the Holy Bible is not the Word of God. That's what's on this shirt right here. The front of this shirt says, the Holy Bible is not the Word of God. Is not the Word of God. The words that God speaks do come through lips. They sure do. Some of the words that God spoke came through and right out of the mouth of Jesus Christ. Words from God came through the mouth of a lot of prophets. And the words of God came through and out of the mouth of a lot of apostles and prophets and pastors and teachers. So have the words of the devil. The words of the devil comes through the mouth of men and women. And those words come from the heart. Yep. The problem is the heart. And video number 2 has come to an end.